Okay, we've got 7:02 by my clock. You call the Alvin Fairplay Fire Safety Community Council meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is to approve the October council meeting agenda. We sent out, I think on Saturday, but again today. Does anybody have any comments on the agenda as written?
Do we need to add a president's report?
No, there's no copies at the table.
It's the previous minute.
It's only the minutes that are at the table.
Yeah.
Came out late tonight.
So one thing we do need to add on, Whitney is participating today. Can keep an eye out for her. She's supposed to zoom in.
Okay.
She had something that with her husband's schedule of her children, so she did give a new updated treasurer's report to me a couple of days ago, which was distributed. Let's see, so. So can we approve the agenda with the addition of the treasurer's report? Second. Okay, so finally get out the August and September council meeting minutes. Did everybody have a chance to review those? Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none. Thank you for getting those out. Oh, there it is. There was one in there, but I don't think Whitney's on yet, right, Ben?
No, there's nobody on.
Okay, we'll come back to. So chair and vice chair reports, I'll kick that off. Jody Westfall and a few other people from what I'll just call the Somerset group that we just added to the Alvin Fairplay Fire Safety Council. She could not be here today. Her bill has come down with COVID. So we're glad she didn't come and spread it with us. But I did ask her opinion on the CWPP. She did say she worked on the survey, but in particular, she said there are 3 or 4 different specific areas that they wanted, as a group, they wanted to add into the CWPP process, which is Rodwell Canyon. It's another one-way in, one-way out. Not sure they're part of the ones that were identified as part of the October 3rd meeting. That's one. And then the road from the post office to Myers Lane. And then from Panel Lane, past Panel Lane to the Casa Contenta area, all of them for roadside maintenance. Now, the Casa Contenta, there was some question and concern about the map, and there's a finger, which is specifically Casa Contenta, that was, where is it? Are they in Grizzly Flats, or are they in Alvin Fairplay as part of the new Somerset group? And with Richard Fitzgibbons.
Yeah.
Richard
Galvin.
Galvin, he's aware of the issue, and he said he would, at the meeting last Saturday, he said he would set up a meeting with myself and Mark from Grizzly Flats, and he's yet to do that, but be more than happy to discuss it with him. The woman that was initially raising the issue, your name, what's her name? Stephanie. Upon hearing the chatter and the feedback back from Mark and Richie Galvin, pretty much said, hey, I understand we're not here, but I'll drop it. You guys do your own thing, but I think there's still a need to just discuss with Richie and Mark and myself and see where it should go. And whether it should be part of this group or remain in Grizzly Flats. Dave is actually impacted as well. He's actually on Casa Contenta. And as I said to Stephanie, it's really up to Dave where the group he wants to participate in this meeting. I'm not sure there's anything about it that says So that's one thing, and I did talk to Elizabeth, she unfortunately couldn't be here tonight as well, but she passed forward that the Dorado Canyon area of Sandridge should be added for roadside maintenance. One thing I did want to point out, I think a lot of people saw, I know it went out in a lot of emails, Jennifer, Kim Hubbard and Scott Templer doing these, household disaster emergency plan, classes. My wife and I did the 2 6-hour sessions. I wouldn't say I was skeptical, but I was kind of like curious and frankly learned a ton. It's this is the West Slope household disaster and emergency planning trainings. It's 2 6-hour sessions on subsequent 2-week break. They have 2 sessions a month, and I think I don't know if they've gotten their 6 people. They're looking for 6 more people to fill out the next classes. But if you haven't taken it, there's a ton of very, very useful information in the training. The speakers were fantastic. Captain Mike Stutz from Pioneer Fire came over and was probably more elucidatory about what's going on in firefighting between all the agencies and so forth. It was really entertaining. Did a great job. Cal OES was there. Chris Markey was there as our resident deputy. And they had ham radio people. They had all sorts of things, ways to beyond just the home hardening and defensive space. So it's, who's your buddy? How do you plan? How do you be ready in the case of fire? So I know my wife and I found it very, very helpful. Take a peek at it. If you want to come and look through the book and see what the materials are, you're welcome to. The fire song, next thing is Andy Thames, Jada, send me a contact, Jennifer Thames. She's a artist, and she goes around into the different communities doing, they call it fire song. It's creating banners with, people come and create banners. It was held in Pioneer Park a few weeks ago. I believe about 30-40 people attended. I was there as part of the Berkeley Fire Safety Council. It was extremely well done. It's kind of a cathartic experience for any of the people that have been through, their house being burned, and in kind of a genteel and a very communal way. And afterwards, she said a very cordial thank you and asked for where can she send a donation to the Berkeley Fire Safety Council. So she was very, very appreciative. And if you haven't been to one, take a peek at it. I can send out her email address and her website. It's really, really kind of something. She spends a lot of time in the woods capturing scenarios and lists of what's going on.
Betsy said
And
she's in
making
there
that
waiting.
part of her experience. Okay.
She's in the wrong meeting.
At the last meeting, there was a lot of
She
questions about
logged into
who owns the
the-
water tower and what's going on
She's-
next with the water tower and the 17,000 gallon tank. on
That's
the-
not a lot of nice.
Come to find out, Mike Stutz was very well aware of it. He said they were the ones that put up the gate because they were filling it with water. There's no well attached to it. They were filling it with water and people were coming and stealing the water. So it's kind of in a never land in terms of how it's going to be maintained. I mean, Dave did a fantastic piece about things to consider if we do try to maintain it, because it is an old metal 17,000 gallons on the tank. But there's still a few more steps with the Pioneer Fire to see what do they want to do, what should we as a community do, and decide next steps. We try to get a grant and fix it up, or replace it with something similar that's a bit more durable than a metal can. Supposedly it does leak. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard when there was an issue about it, was that there was a couple other attempts to try to repair the leaks. So the leaks might be repaired, they might not, we don't know.
I have a friend as well. We know about it too. Chris.
We don't have to code it, right, just not part of the water.
Hold on, I'm getting kind of No, not that, I'm getting.
Oh, yeah, she
Oh,
did.
got her.
We
Yeah,
got
we got her. She logged into the wrong meeting, so we're getting her to the right address.
Okay, so more to come on the water tower, making an incremental baby steps, at least now we know who's been filling it with water. We don't know its status, but that'll be, I'll talk to Chief Good and Captain Stutz and see if we can get next steps on that. I think that is an action there. That nobody knows. I talked to Shirley Day, who's head of the homeowners association in River Pines, and she had no clue. And she's been here since, I think, the early nineties. So she, yeah, used to walk her dog by there, and she saw when the chain went up. And people were, vandalizing it, so it's kind of really no man's land. Finding out though that there was no well to it. It was kind of just a storage thing, so they can take their tenders to go and then put 500, 600 gallons in it. Assuming it'll stay in there, but, again, it needs more evaluation. Next, on my concerns was, what are we gonna do with it, with regard to a green waste day? We've talked about it a couple of meetings now. And I reached out to Eric Richard and Stacy's here from the Otterdale Improvement Club. And, the concern was we're getting close to the end of the year. To get one organized, you know, with the, talk about disposal, getting some, and the county at El Dorado, we came out with a $3,000.
The Fire Safe Council
Fire Safe.
has $3,000 per Fire Safe Council of Title III funds that's available to do green waste days between now and August 31st.
Of next year.
Correct.
It's all past future. But the problem appears to be, when you talk to Scott, it's insurance. You have to have somebody.
So the intent of the $3,000 this year was to hire, just like we've done in the past, the councils will hire a contractor to come run their chipper and chip it in. So that's why the money was increased a bit from last year.
Yeah, because the ledger's coming to the insurance binder.
Yeah.
And we don't want people's hands and feet being affected.
So
Okay,
given that we have until next August to use it, is it time right now to put something on to calendar it? It doesn't have to be advertised yet, but to at least get it calendared for when it's the right time.
Great question. The real question is, do we think between now and the first week of December, we can get one done?
I think from my perspective, the fall ones have never been successful. We've never filled a dumpster.
And the general feeling is that we had a smattering of rain today. It was, it's rained, but if you watch the news, Cal Fire people are saying it's still much too early to think that we're out of the woods.
Yeah, they're not gonna open up burning, but we've never been successful in a fall one. It's just not been a good.
I'm getting there, Janet. Essentially, people begin burning, so forth between now and December, so looking toward the spring is probably more likely. But we did want Stacy to be here and actually to hear. We've always had difficulty trying to figure out where in Howdydale we could actually have a big truck turn and you know, on either on somebody's property or in some public place. So we'd love to work with your team to see if we can have them right there.
Yeah, I think we have some options now. We have a property owner that has a corner of land that she bought on Autumn and Siesta. She's offered it up for our meetings, our club meetings, so she might, and it's a good area. I think that would work. Mike's got some area in his property, but I think we can come up with an option once we do it. Yeah, I've been talking to Mike about like same thing, like, do people want to burn or would they fill a dumpster? Same thing, like, it seems like I don't want you guys to spend a bunch of money on this and have us not be able to use it. I was talking to Mike about, I could poll the community in the next couple days and see if I can get anybody to like commit,
Yeah.
say they want to do it, see if we can get enough interest, and then once we get interest, we can find a spot. I don't think that would be a problem.
I think one of the comments I think in the past has been, you know, I don't mean this in a pejorative way in any way, shape, or form, but the people are, you know, older, they're not that young, and it's hard for them to pick it up and actually transport it.
Right. I know they don't want to come here for it, like that doesn't work.
Yeah, that didn't work. We had, I think in the last fall one, we had one young lady from, very ambitious young lady from Hardingdale that came.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get it in your car, you might get it and take it to the
Yeah,
dump.
4 times.
Yeah,
But
so,
the thought was to get somebody with a big truck, like a 4x4 with a big,
like, the-
thing where we could, like the old ice cream trucks with little bells,
Right.
come on out, bring out your dad, bring out your stuff.
yeah,
And
the others
if-
getting us organized, so.
If
it's
they
up to us
can't, if they can't bring it out, then, have a few volunteers go and actually help them, just have them point that,
Yeah,
and remove it.
yeah, but if you, I mean, if we could look at the community and see if anybody can make to this fall, I could let you know in a couple days, but some set up for spring, I think would be good and would be successful then. I agree, I think spring.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, if you have time, that you can use the funds, I mean, we'd like to use them, because you guys are on offer, I know people want some help with their, greenways, but, yeah, I want to get, looking for, bringing it out.
Okay, perfect.
Last name, Pop, EOPMA.
Say that again?
EOP and MA.
Belmont's his problem. Wendy's asked, is there a way to have a Zoom meeting in progress in place sent to her?
You have what?
The Zoom meeting in progress sent to her?
I just sent it to
She
her.
just needs the link from tonight's meeting, which I
Just
think
sent
she
her
just sent.
tonight's link.
She had logged into the wrong meeting. She logged into this morning's El Dorado County Fire Safe Council link, so.
And I emailed her your link that you sent out at 1:10.
No.
No,
Oh, and just background for planning purposes on the Greenway Stay, the request is just have your plan developed before the end of November. So we've just requested that every council that's interested notify, to send me an email that you're interested in the funds and sort of generally what you planned, how you plan to use it. And the email was pretty before November 30th or, yeah,
Yeah, November
Yeah.
yeah, I
30th.
just need to have the information.
I need to set the money aside.
Yeah, we've got to set all the money aside.
So we know who
plan.
wants to use it.
So is there a set form or?
Nope, it's just the email is just very clear about here's what you have to send me. It's very informal, low key.
We would love one, a spring.
It's you can use it however you want between now and August 31st. It's entirely up to you. If you can squeeze in 2 of them out of 3,000, do it. But it's entirely up to you. We just need to know kind of generally what if that changes, that's fine. But generally, one, I need a commitment that you want the money. I need that commitment by November 35th, and then also just generally what you kind of plan, how you plan to do that.
Is our commitment not to have a date?
No, no,
Okay, so
Just
we
that
can
we
say
wanna-
we're planning on one in the spring,
correct.
It's essentially so that they can put aside money.
Yeah.
and we can just use your email on that?
Yep, that was the
The
only intent
chair-
was respond back to
Chair
me.
of the ADC FSC.
Yeah, there was an email that went out to all the chairs.
You get $3,000, however you want
However
to
you
do
want to
it.
spend it.
I don't know. Depends on the
You
contract.
can, and you can negotiate that with them. At the end of the day, just- yeah, just at the end of the day, is understand there's $3,000 times 32 fire safe councils is just short of $100,000. And this is Title III money come from the county. We have a limited pot, so we've increased it from last year, but we still just have a limited amount, so I can't give more to individual councils. We've got to try to keep it at that.
In charge of,
Still having trouble getting in, so I'm gonna tell her is when we get to her section, which is next. I'll have her call me and I'll just put her on speaker and put it up to the microphone. Okay? I think, okay. One other thing that occurred to me, not only at the CWPP thing, but also during this training is getting a list of speakers that we can kind of have as a portfolio and then bring them in. I think Janet was on a good cadence of having a speaker every other meeting. some of the speakers that I would like to see come back is Mike Stutz, talk about, from Pioneer Fire, that's great. About fire safety, what's going on with all the other, what's going on with all the other communities and Cal Fire and their so forth. Another one, I think his name is Carr, he's from Cal OES.
I provided you a list of the speakers that Alice gave all of us as chairs at one point of different speakers on different topics, and I think it's in the material that I provided to you.
In an email or just,
It was a piece of paper.
Okay. Yeah.
But if not, you can email Alice and see if she's got an updated list. But she went through and got a list for all the chairs at one point in time of a variety of speakers on a variety of topics.
I just don't recall it.
Yeah, so, I'm sorry, you go ahead. You had
But what I
your hand
wanted
up.
to say was that's one of the primary purposes of the coalition, is to get all four South County fire safety councils together. And then we have a good turnout for a speaker, and we accomplish, 4 times instead of the speaker having to go speak 4 times. He comes and speaks, like Captain Stutz, he comes and speaks to all 4 of us, because we're all related. And that's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
The coalition, and if you have suggestions, I mean, we can go forward with it.
So that's pretty much all I had.
So in regards to the speakers, one of the things that we talked about at 2 board meetings ago, that I was gonna go ahead and run with that. And I know that you were gonna talk to Jennifer, and I don't know if you had it from, Westlow about coming to speak. But I'm not sure if you didn't have a chance to do that, I would take it from here, and then I'll work on this, and so, and then start calendaring things so that we've got something to put out.
Yeah, Jennifer, I didn't speak to her about coming to speak specifically, but yeah, please do.
Her or Scott, or both.
Next. It's your up. Vice
That
Chair.
was it.
That was it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's, thank you for being concise. Okay, approval of the treasury report. Hey, Whitney, Mike, your phone, my phone is right beside the speaker for you. Your treasurer's report that we distributed is available on the computer. It's one of the tabs, Ken. So there it is. It's up. Excellent. And with Andy Thames donation is not coming yet?
I'm sorry, what definition did you just say?
There's the Fire Song event that I supported.
And they're gonna donate,
They're gonna donate to Open Fairly Fire Safety.
did they say how much?
They did not, I didn't,
Okay.
I thought I'd be presumptuous to ask.
Oh, no, well, I just didn't know we're gonna say. I don't know.
No, how much, I didn't say, how much you got, we'll take it.
I didn't, okay, I got it.
Yeah, no, I think it's just.
Gotta
it's
ask
just
for
a warm
facts.
gesture on her part, and think we welcome it. So I think we would need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll say. Sorry.
Yeah, she's only, it's been motioned by Kim and Peggy Cathy seconded. The treasurer's report is accepted. Okay, so Whitney, you're welcome to stay on and listen further. I'll just put you on. I'll just leave it like that.
I have a question for you.
Okay. Want to ask that?
Yes. Whitney, and I'm in a motion in a second, but we need to pay our $100 to the Fire Safe Coalition. We're the only fire safe county that has the printing costs or the table costs. So we need $100 check.
Yes, I need a request for payment with,
You need to invoice us.
a request for payment, so if I can get that, I can go ahead and get that. We can motion and approve the payment of that in this meeting right now, and then I can get the check.
Our motion to pay it.
Second.
After we get an invoice for it, of what she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She needs audit documentation.
Where do I get an invoice?
On your organization.
Nobody else can ask.
I'll send you one invoice and you can put your information on it.
I understand, but none of the other fire safe councils. Can I handwrite something? I thought.
I'll send you a format. It's what I use to sell wine, but you can just put your organization on it and so forth and say $100. It's really simple.
You're the correct with that.
That's no problem.
So we have a motion and a second on the table. Okay, so now you.
So I'll send you
Okay.
an invoice that way. Okay, Whitney, thank you. We had a motion second. Yeah. Okay.
Are you you're taking a vote?
Well,
There was a motion and a second, but I didn't hear a call for a vote.
okay, let's vote. Yep. Anybody say aye?
Aye.
Yeah.
Any change say nay? Okay,
There we go.
motion approved.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're now into and the future speaker options. I'll check with Alice and get that. In terms of informational items, there is the Deputy Chris Mackey. He was actually at the hospital. He's actually did a great job, but he's not here today. Ken, would you like to? You're after everybody else. Ken, would you like to update on the other fire safety?
Sure, yeah, just a couple of quick things. We talked about Title III that's out there. We were successful in getting a $100,000 grant from PG&E just this week to support the Defensible Space Assistance Program. So that will go into the hopper along with the over $900,000 grant we received from CAL FIRE for that Defensible Space Assistance Program. So that program is well funded. We are looking at continuing to work on the website refresh, and a lot of work going into not only the look of the website over the next couple of months, but in sort of behind the scenes with the volume of work coming through our 3 assistance programs, chipping, hazardous tree removal, and defensible space assistance. We're doing a complete overhaul of that, sort of the backroom portion of that to manage all of that, a much more automated process. So over the next several months, we'll be working on rebuilding that and turning that on. The program will continue to function as it is now, but we're really trying to set the program up for the future because this is way beyond any level of activity the program ever anticipated when it first started a number of years ago. So that's a big effort. A lot of effort continues to go into supporting the Community Wildfire Protection Plan process. Hosted a meeting this afternoon, our monthly meeting at 1 o'clock with the county staff to again update. Had the 5 public workshops that we were participated in with the El Dorado County Office of Wildfire Preparedness. and continue to, provide, the support on that. Probably the biggest discussion item in today's meeting was sort of the futuring of the council. This goes in line with all of the growth that is occurring in the community, the fire safe councils across the county, and the ability to support that, the efforts going into the assistance programs, the budgetary when we're managing, $14 million currently in grants, and that continues to grow. So all that's really looking at where are we going in the future with the organization and how to best support that growth. So for several months now, we've had a futuring group looking at sort of the strategic plan and how to enhance some of the programs. And the focus right now is looking at some more executive leadership, or basically an executive coordinator position that will be 3/4 to full time. That will help sort of really manage the day-to-day operations of the Fire Safe Council and try to provide that direct support out to the associate councils, take care of the day-to-day business. So that's currently being discussed. It'll come back to the full board again next month, again, with the idea that really trying to position the Fire Safe Council going forward to better support all of the efforts that we're doing out here, because it's a lot of activity, a lot of programs, and quite frankly, just very successful in a lot of grants that are helping support a lot of what we do. And I know I think we discussed it at a past meeting, but we were also successful in a $100,000 grant from the State Fire Safe Council that included, I think, 12 or 14 associate councils, very specific requests to work on things like the website refresh and outreach and a number of other projects. I don't recall. I think it was this. I don't recall what our project was here.
So we had put in, not knowing where we were gonna end up with the West Slope grant at the time, we had put in funding for an additional sign. I don't know that we need it for an additional sign, so if there is something else in public outreach and education that the council wants to focus that money on, you would need to work with Tamara Johnston and see if there is an ability to redirect. But at the time, we were kind of in between West Slopes providing money and our discussion on signs, so I threw money for signs.
Yep. So don't recall the amount.
In addition to the 3 signs
Yes.
that John's been running now.
The John's been running on signs for the, related to the West Slope grant, all funded out of the West Slope grant. This would be additional to that. The thought at the time was we were wondering about something further up Fairplay. If we wanted to sign up Fairplay, if we decide that we're done with signs because it's been a lot of work for John, then maybe we look at something else, but talk with Tamara on whether she can transfer that to something else in line with the grant.
Yeah, and I do believe there's some opportunities to repurpose that within the grant. I don't recall what the exact dollar amount is, but yeah, definitely reach out to Tamara
I
Johnston.
want to say it was $2,500.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yep.
It's been a while.
I think there's an opportunity there if we chat with her. And I think those were the highlights for today.
Thanks, Jim. So Shyla, you're next on the agenda. I don't know if you wanted to team with Peggy or have Peggy speak.
I'm just gonna speak on the whole line.
Okay, go for it.
Yes, thank you.
Can we please?
Yeah, just so you know, there's nobody online, so there's really nobody to speak to.
It's only for the recording.
I'll
We need it for the recording.
give her, I got.
It's small but powerful.
Mighty Mike.
Before I start with Elma Ranch, I just have a question about
It is here.
El Dorado County Fire Safe Council, because we normally Zoom that meeting. But if in the future, there are community houses that host at the same time. Is this recorded and can we watch your meeting? And how do I get to that link?
So the meeting, every meeting is recorded, and within usually several days, it's posted to the El Dorado County Fire Safe Council website.
That's all I.
Yep, yep.
Okay, that's great.
Good question.
This is gonna be fast. I'm going to Fire Safe Council, received the grant from the El Dorado County Fire Safe Council, and part of it was for a container for our, equipment. And we got, permission from the fire, fire department to put the container on the property next to Station 37 that's actually owned by Sierra Pacific. And so we, the community leveled the area and, the board and the council had an emergency meeting a couple days ago, and we ordered the, container, and it's coming Friday. So, we have, thank you, man, it was great. So I want to thank the El Dorado County Fire Safety Council for that opportunity. And, I'm just gonna share, in our council, and this is really about the impact of each individual. 2 weeks ago, one of our councilmen, got sick. These are fire lines, and these are, person who helped organize some business and stuff, and he's now in hospice. So all those little things that we do have to be. So I don't think he's regretting any time that he spent with the fire safety council. I think that's, anyway, I just wanted to know that, we'll have laws, even that we feel. Process.
Thanks, I thought some prayers with your colleague. Again, with Ann Ridge, I did speak to Elizabeth prior to this meeting, and she just mentioned a few, places that they would add into roadside maintenance, Grizzly Flat. Somebody can proceed. And drum roll, please, we have, Miss Peggy Cathy that would like to talk about the coalition update.
Coalition. When you walked in, did you see the tabletop? That's our presentation, not quite finished, still waiting on a map, and we're still deciding what we're going to do. One of our primary concerns, like I said before, is we're trying to get speakers and all 4 councils would say, yeah, we'd love to do it, and where, probably here is the best choice. I think this is the biggest area to have people, at least well, the weather's bad. And I also want to mention Lucas Shepherd is a good speaker on what the counties do, you know, what they're contemplating when it comes to speakers. But I wanted you to see that presentation out there because that's what we're spending money on. And I've got to give great kudos to Western Slope. Jennifer has helped us from day one. She laid out a lot of this paperwork and we refined it and she fixed it again. She's putting in hours on this demonstration, this tabletop presentation. And I really appreciate her and Scott. And, you know, like I say, Scott offered up 2 chippers. They're not doing the tool shed anymore. So the chippers we're going to keep, I believe. But the problem, of course, is insurance.
They have one shipper now, just so you know.
Did they get rid of one?
Yeah, ended up at my house, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, today at the hub, we had a moderate amount of people here because of the rain, but the interest was high. The booklets are quite popular and they are concise. We appreciate those coming from county council. Other than the $100, because I felt bad because we're the last council would contribute, so I wanted to be sure that got done pretty quick. So I'll get an email to Whitney as soon as I get it from you. And I just think it's the best idea. I think as we get going, and we're eventually going to have 5 presentations. This one will be stored here. Probably put one at 38. We're not sure, Pioneer, exactly where the others are going to go, but we got big plans. And everybody's pretty enthusiastic on it. So.
Excellent.
That's good.
So. For every.
You have to record your posterity.
This is the one.
I've heard that before.
We took the presentation to the fire department. And the fire department had some wonderful suggestions and certain things that we can change. We took it to CDFA PBSA, is willing to have a display at their building so that when they do different events, and they're hoping to do, I guess, bingo on a monthly basis. So the areas where there are people coming for, for events is really what we wanna focus on. So PBFA and the fire department. What was interesting though, was in looking at this slideshow, I mean, there's only 9 slides in this show, in the slideshow. There was more discussion with the board of the fire department on the fact that there were 4 people that used to be on Grizzly board that actually are not in the Firewise, the Grizzly area, that sphere of recognition, and they're not in Mount Auburn. So about 20 minutes went into where do they belong? If they're not part of the, and what was interesting, it was actually the past chair of PBFA, Lucy Grizzly, they acknowledges, past chair of PBFA, the one, the board member Christina Holden, Randy Rossi, and one other person, they said, we don't belong to the Fire Safety Council, therefore we can't get the Firewise discount, nor do we're not represented, nor do we get any information from the Fire Safety Council, Colorado County, or any of the other ones. So that's one of the, I guess, the gaps that, if that could be addressed, I don't know. It could, but I just wanna let you know that we spent 20 minutes on that.
I guess I'm a bit confused. Is there a request in there somewhere, Shyla? Or just a
Request-
comment?
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
for those 3 people.
those 3,
That
that
do
area. Yeah, 3, we spent 20 minutes on looking at the slideshow, and they're going, how come we're not in a fire safety council? And why can we not be in Grizzly, or why can we not be in Mount Auburn, why can we not be in Sandwich? And so I just wanted to let you as a council know that that was an issue that those 3 people had who used to be on the board of Grizzly, but they found out through Firewise that they are not actually in that.
Well, where are they? Nowhere. I mean,
Absolutely.
where are they?
They're another finger like that Casablanca.
Is this
whatever
the
it's
same, the same ticker?
That's all. What I'm trying to say
Randy's
is
got
that's
that winery up
that
off of
has
Grizzly
come up
Glen.
just.
Got that big winery.
Randy
So
Rossi.
if you go online.
What is his winery's name?
Solidity.
Cellar. And he donated this Melaport over there, Somerset Landing.
But when you look at the maps, it looks as if everybody,
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were in Grizzly.
I mean, there's no base on the map, right? Yeah, am I wrong?
Well, I don't know, there's been a lot of discussion in that whole corner, and I know there were a few. I would suggest that just get together between the 2 or 3
Sounds
councils.
like Mike is already.
Yeah, it sounds like
getting-
he's doing it, and just see what Richie Galvin can help you look at the map, and it's just a matter of making some decisions about where you want, who wants to take them.
So, yeah, you might, I'm not sure, we probably, the Salita wider, I'm sure that goes longer, that you might be talking about. He's got the area on 4 corners right on the other hand, or you might be talking that one.
And it might be that since we did some boundary changes, and it might be that they're not in a Firewise community right now, much like maybe Kathy's area is not in a Firewise community right now. And once they do their next, well, or whenever their renewal is due, ours is due next year, I don't know. when
Right,
ours is.
right.
But when their renewal is, maybe they'll change that.
Just communication, maybe.
Yeah,
So I'll revive the discussion with, so the net of it is, as I talked earlier, there's an outstanding meeting to be set with Richie Galvin, Mark from Grizzly, and myself to figure out what to do next, and now this will be another piece of it.
That would be wonderful.
Okay.
We're okay if we, I share that back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you have the 3 names?
I have Randy Rossi from Saluti and
Christina Holmes,
who?
Christina Holmes.
And
Dan Dwyer.
Dwyer?
Yes.
Stan Dwyer,
Yes. It's Dan.
It's Dan.
Dan Dwyer,
Oh, yeah.
the ex-fire chief.
Yes. And everything else.
I know, isn't that something we would have That's amazing.
Wonderful.
And
So,
it was
thank you,
all
John.
because of that slide.
Thank you,
right
John.
there. Wow.
Okay, the next item was the possible green waste. I think we discussed that already. We're gonna get a request over to Ken and team, to do one next year before the end of the year, before August. And get that money committed. And it seems like in our budget, we're close to having enough money to do one on our own, but let's see what we can get. In terms of
Our website,
this one,
the coalition slides and
I do not believe so.
so how do you? like that?
This has been, sorry, Jane, but this has been kind of in progress for the last 2 or 3 months.
Okay,
And as we heard today, it's still going through iterations.
oh, okay,
Once it's kind of complete, we'd be happy to post it.
okay.
I think we're.
But
We have another meeting, once
Yeah.
that meeting is set, then we can say it's
just,
in stone.
just please take a mental note to yourself that when it is complete, send it over to us and we can get it to on our website. But yeah, there's been no intention to not place it, it's just been in flux. I'm gonna move ahead. Thank you very much for the coalition and Elmo. The green waste, we're gonna push it. Unfinished business. I know we've talked about it even last couple of meetings. When you were setting yourself up in some beautiful lake about the screening. Is there anything to report there, Janet?
I'm waiting for a dollar value to spend before I make the order, so I was waiting for John to finish his part of the grant funding. And once that is complete and I know how much the council wants me to purchase, then I will make the purchase.
You specifically from John, you need what, an amount?
I need from the council the amount you want me to purchase.
We need to know how much time is spending. Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead, shout it out there, Whitney.
That she's been preventing.
That's what this.
Okay.
And this is funded through
Westlock.
Westlock's donation that,
The $5,000
Yeah.
grant they gave us.
okay. Okay, now I got it, yeah.
Okay, so if let me know if that's the amount you want me to purchase and I can.
It
Or
would
did-
be worth to talk to Elizabeth and see how much she spent.
I know exactly how much she spent. I have her invoice. I paid it.
Well, then,
I was gonna use the same vendor that she has,
to me, that's logical, because I think she still has some left for her people, so.
but I need to know from this board how much they want me to spend.
how much-
And,
So do you
and,
want me to reach out to Elizabeth or do you just?
no, I have her invoice. I want from this board. Do you want me to spend $3,800? Do you want me to wait until John's all done? And see what the difference is? At what point do you want me to make that purchase?
What did Liz spend?
Well, her grant was different. She spent,
No, how much on,
I don't remember.
oh, that's what I was saying, maybe we could base our cost on what Liz.
No, but I.
Well, you
think
have
that-
$5,000 to spend before the end of this calendar year.
Right, we can always.
Yeah, we have to know by, yeah, so what's on the table right now is do we wait for John for the final, or do we just go and have her apply?
I think that was John's final, I read the email.
Well, I think,
I think we have until Friday. Because I would like to know how many people are in the council that was already purchased. And that way we have a better idea if we're servicing the same number of community members. Then it would be judicious to actually go with those numbers. But if I can have until Sunday, I can get you guys.
yeah, I'm thinking we give John a little bit more slush, so maybe 1350, and the balance would go to buying the mesh, but.
Yeah.
Whitney, if you wanted to have until Friday, then please do so, and just send out a message to the board.
So wait,
And
wait,
Whitney, I can give you, share with you the information from, Sandridge on what they purchased and how much it cost.
Yes, please.
I'm thinking though, in terms of, sheer volume of people and residences to cover. Uncle Fairplay has got to be bigger than Sandridge.
So that's what I'm. Then do we utilize the full amount versus utilize what Sandridge did? So that was I just want to make sure that our heads are covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Elizabeth anyway, and I'll kind of share with you some of the data that, because I don't know how many people she covered, I don't know what the cost was and so forth, it's an easy email, and I'll forward that back to you.
You just gotta remember that.
Unless you work with, Westlaw. I mean, the grant was good through the end of the year, so you'd have to work with Scott, but I have her invoice. I know how much she spent. And I know how much she purchased, so. I can provide that to Whitney, and then the board can decide, and I can make the purchase in November.
Okay.
Fantastic, thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome, Whitney.
Okay, I think that takes up most of the unfinished business. The only thing I would say about the CWPP, how many people here got the link and have done the survey already? Most everybody? I got the link, I haven't done it yet, but I will. Can, does the survey allow us to enter what specific projects we'd like to see covered?
It gives you some options about things. Yeah, there's some fill-in bubbles where you can do that. We had a discussion about that today. You can certainly put them, there's lots of ways to get in. You can certainly put them in the survey. But if you want to roll up comments from the council, you can put them in an email and just send those to Tanya Harlow as well in a more comprehensive way, and then she'll get
Because
those.
I have all the CWPP from 2021, the 12 projects, and the 6 that get into the Cal Fire and the 6 that didn't, and then I read off about 4 or 5 more projects between the Somerset Group and Sandridge.
If it were me, I would put them all in one email to Tanya. That way, they're all together.
Yep.
And then she can just package that and
That's,
send
that's,
it.
that's the idea.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's what I would suggest. And certainly if it's duplicative, and if there's others that come in through the survey, that's fine, but you would probably better serve just to get them all in one fell swoop.
Good, I will do that. Okay, I'll take the item 8A, the South County grant. It's pretty much, we've kind of wound up the toy and it's on its own. Eldorado Forestry has begun the work. They started East Omo Ranch. They're, I think, this week on Slug Gulch Road, then heading over to Fairplay, then progressing north and west to Outingdale, and then Oak Hill, and then Shingle Springs. You may have seen some eye candy charts. One's on the Pioneer Volunteer Fire Association railing. It's a 3x4 sign about the project. We just want people to scan the code. You know, if they want to participate in any way, to just, send their input or call the number. There's a few smaller signs that I put at the end of Fairplay and over by Roosters. It's just driving by, it's just too small signs, so I'm gonna move the Roosters one to right beside the post office. I spoke to them today. I'll use the outside building for it. It's big enough for people to read. It's like 2x3. And most anybody that goes by there drops in at that post office at one point in time. The idea is that these signs, and it's about 7 in all, 3 of the 3x4s and several of the smaller ones. as the work progresses, they'll move with the project site, with the forester. So when somebody comes upon the forester doing roadside clearance or shaded field break, which are gonna begin in December, by the way, they'll know that it was part of the South County Cal Fire. Kind of keep the community involved and keep them updated on where things are. Okay, so that's the idea of that. We didn't meet today because it's pretty much, like I said, we wound up the toy and they're working. When they can, they had to slow down, got hot the last few weeks, but obviously this weather is perfect for them to get into this. But it is moving well. Colorado Forestry has a couple of subcontractors that are doing roadside maintenance. I think they're gonna get engaged more deeply when it becomes shaded field breaks. We're looking forward to their work. Any questions? Please, yeah.
Are they gonna work through the winter? Like, is it
Yes.
in, weather permitting and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they'll actually, it's preferred for the shaded field breaks anyway. And you know they're gonna do all the vacation below it.
Yeah, that's the thing, so.
Good.
I'm not a property owner of that spot, but it will affect me a lot, so
Okay.
I'm excited.
That's
And then I can clear.
That's how we all, because I lived on my property on where the sand fire left off. So,
Yeah, I don't know that.
and with the north winds coming in the next few days, I don't want it to come back on me.
Everybody wants to-
Or anybody, any of us. Okay. The new business, I think, was, in the past, was the water tower and things like that, correct? And Firewise,
Firewise was in old business.
or was it?
Late.
I see, okay, Firewise came down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody who provided me timesheets tonight. We will gather that up. Our renewal is due the first 2 weeks of November, so we'll be working on summarizing the timesheet data that I have. Also, I requested and received all of the El Dorado County chipping and defensible space work done through the assistance programs that the El Dorado County Fire Safe Council puts on. So I have the dollar value for those projects within our Fire Safe Council to add to our timesheets. I believe that we're going to be just fine on our making our renewal in terms of the work commitment that we had to have. We have the work day that John supported. We had 2 different presentations here that we will take credit for. And then the work that everybody has provided timesheets. So thank you to everyone who provided timesheets. Super helpful.
So, for that Firewise, would you use the South County Coalition as part of your outreach, proof of outreach, or proof, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it would be just another event that we're participating in and would certainly take credit for it in our list of things. we
It would
did.
be something you'd want to put on a timesheet. You
So-
spent time there.
Well, but also we would put, we,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like us to log of the outreach that we do and submit that to you, because that would.
Each of the 4 would
that
have
would-
to.
so yeah, any events that are, so there's a number of different categories and there's the individual hours that we all track for things that we do. But there are also there are all different community events and activities that we do that we track. So each of the councils that are engaged in the coalition can take credit for that as an event because we're all participating in it. And so we'll, definitely, want to.
We're happy to log of what we do, and then some of the councils.
Yes, that would be perfect. Yep, yes, absolutely. Those are things that are absolutely perfect outreach things that we want to kick that.
Same with the event that you had here over the summer, if you want to,
September 8th.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to provide like a paragraph of
I owe
what
you
that
about
was.
$15,000 worth of receipts and then hours on top of that.
If I can get it by
You
next
get it
week,
by the end of the month.
by next
or
week would be
yeah,
helpful.
That's fine.
And then if I could get a paragraph of that event, we can add that.
I already sent that to Lester, but I can send it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, 2 questions. You want me to put in some time? I have to talk to Shida first. As the time I put in on the coalition.
I think that's an outreach thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
so it should be on your time sheet.
Okay, that's 2, Somerset. So Somerset can't get in Firewise until 2025? Is it the end of 2025? When? I mean, when do we start collecting data since we're brand
So
new.
this council needs to go through its risk assessment next year and submit that next November. And once it's accepted by Firewise, which would change our boundaries, it'll be the beginning of 26 that we
It'll
would
be,
have.
okay, because Jody asked me that, so it's 2026.
And I consolidate a lot of my hours. You know, into one sheet, just fill it out. And then put the receipts.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, at
we-
the end of the day,
we
they're
don't
they're just
Yeah,
totals, so
don't
if you're
submit the
comfortable doing that, that's fine, we just put,
So
we just lump them by
I'll
category.
break it up.
But just keep your own record. I don't know if they come audit. I don't think they do, but
Yeah.
I have all the receipts, it's just a matter of collecting.
Okay.
But it's about, I would say it's about 15 hard cash and others.
perfect.
Yeah, just know so the hard deadline is November 15th this year, but we've got a lot of homework to do so please don't wait till November 15th to give us
No,
everything. We've got to try to
I
get
want
this
by
in
the
and
end of
submitted.
next week
Yeah.
or I'm collecting.
Yeah.
So I could email you. the process
Please
number
email.
out. I can maybe even get the Shiloh in the next week or the meeting.
Yeah, please email me no later than the end of next week.
So I can add on hours too then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody sitting here tonight could add on those.
There's one more meeting.
Yes, your time sheets from tonight would work. Mike,
We should have a time sheet that everybody can just fill out up here, would that work? Or would they have to do it individually or, as a group?
you know, if the secretary is willing to share your sign where everybody signed in, I can add 2 hours for everybody who signed.
Do I have to get everybody to okay to share their name?
Well, I need the record of who was here. I mean, I can't,
To me, if you sign in on a public sheet, you get it in the
Mhm.
express.
because you're putting it in the
Yeah.
meeting minutes anyway.
Yeah,
Right. There you go.
Yeah. I tend, when I send out the mails, to the group, I always put the long list in the BCC
Mhm.
to kind of.
So would it help if I just filled out one of those and send it to you with hours? When I'm doing.
Yeah.
Fill out everybody.
I just have to make sure I'm not double counting. If somebody gives me a timesheet with their
Their,
homework,
yeah,
their home efforts that they're doing, I don't want to double count their time. And
yeah, that might be bad.
so
Let's just keep,
Yeah, let's-
I think it's better if everybody just
Yeah.
submits a timesheet.
Right.
Discipline, okay,
Dan,
Yes,
do a lot of people send you their time sheet?
there are 3 or 4 faithfuls that I get every month from the public. I get better from them than I do, to be honest again.
I'm suggesting is that people in here, I put my 2 hours down, but from now on, not do them. And then you as a group, just would be 24 hours.
I guess my feeling is that what's the commitment of all of us if we just want someone else to total our hours for us? This is supposed to be Firewise where we're all community members engaged. And so the whole idea about the individual timesheets, so the least we can do individually is put 2 hours down on a timesheet and submit it. And because it's, where's
You're
the,
doing work at home.
yeah,
So
and
how am I collecting your home?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we really, at some point, this has to be a community spirited effort where each and every one of us is submitting, and doing our part.
Well, showing up, I mean, just me showing up, I'm not, you know, you don't want to spread like 2 hours, that's all the way. I'm not doing it, I'm not participating in all that other stuff. Find that,
are you doing work around your home?
yeah, a lot.
And it-
But you're not willing to share that?
We're getting a 5%, this is all, I get a 5% insurance discount for being in our Firewires community.
Found that.
Right, so how do you think that happens? It happens because we're all working to make that happen.
I was.
Right, I know, we did that. So I guess the point being is that You're-
I got.
that would be great. We would love to see that.
And the other thing I would say, is in addition to the 5%, working with the insurance commissioner, it's actually the potential via California Fair Plan is up to 14.5%.
I saw
So it's really important to do the work and actually to track the work,
Oh, yeah.
because then it becomes part of the community.
I have really people.
Yeah, but, yeah. I mean, I took out probably 8 yards worth of trees. Now I have 30 foot setback. It looks bare, but it's safe. I was thinking, Janet, I can send out the BCC and the distribution list, it's probably 200 people.
At least.
Now, we get maybe 10, 15, sometimes 20, 30 at each meeting. If I send out the timesheet, urgent timesheet request to those people, you know, to get them
We
in,
might get 1 or 2, and that'd be great.
I will do that.
Yes, thank you.
I'm still trying to fix all the bounces. You know, but
They bounce back weirdly, because so it'll be different ones each month.
I know,
So it depends on if their mailbox is full or,
yeah. But some in particular, I know, they know they're, they've got a physically dementia problem.
Where do you get the time sheets at? Are they online or?
They're on our website, on the AFSC.org website.
and I also have left some at the Occam Fairplay, the Occam post office.
In a little, clear plastic thing, okay.
If you email it either bring it here or email it to Mike.
Or to info@afsc.org and it'll get to me. Okay, time sheets are important. Okay, I'm gonna move on. We're in item 10, public comment. Not that we haven't had a lot made today. Oh, my goodness. Not to break the streak.
No, you know what I'm finding interesting is y'all don't have a mic and.
They have them on the table, they're on the table, yeah.
I'm not being discriminatory.
We just want to hear you.
Yeah, there was just a motion to give you one when you come in if you'd use it well. But
Or not too much.
So for public comment, PBFA is having their Santa workshop or breakfast with Santa. And it will be December 7th. They're also having their next meeting. They announced that they were going to be, meeting on the first Tuesday of every month. However, this next month, in November, it will be the first Monday. So that was the tip. So, just wanted to share that. They also mentioned that, along with the breakfast with Santa, they were promoting the Mount Autumn. And I'm sorry, I think Jane, you're affiliated with the parade that happens.
Oh, yeah, the Christmas parade.
They were raving about that, and they wanted to be represented there. And so my next request is, if the coalition creates something, could we put?
Absolutely.
Bring
your banner, bring, wagon, whatever you want.
So what we're seriously looking at is how do we just, advertise at little tiny groups? So that we can just, because that's what you want.
you want to invite the elves? You said little time. It was a joke. It was a joke. Okay.
The other thing that I noticed is when I was driving down Fairplay, there's some sort of harvest fair in November. And I don't know for the wineries, and I don't really know what that is because we don't go to wineries. But if there is a way that we can advertise the South County Coalition there, because it truly is about educating, so that we can, all of the fire safe councils have a hole, and the hole is the vacancies. All of the councils are asking for that, and what I'm hearing is kind of, and I don't know you, but what you just shared was really potent, which is people don't want to put the effort into the little things, but the little things are really what's matters. Getting your time sheet, getting work in, all of those little things. And we don't realize how valuable and how important it is. And the other thing that we need to shift the gears here on is we can't put any more work on any of these councils. Or expect someone else to do what you need to do. Because we're all volunteer, and everyone's platter is getting more full and more full. So, with that, I'm hoping that we can go to every little event that is an intimate event and be able to educate that way. And that's really from the ground up. So that's the goal. So the winery, the Harvest Fair, November something.
Do you know,
Mike, are you affiliated with that?
I'm not, no.
but you do know that's just not, they're not like in a room.
I have no
It,
idea.
it's each winery is doing their own thing.
Yeah, that's work, but
Yes,
yeah, I wouldn't bother with that, just like I wouldn't bother with
Yeah.
passport weekend.
yeah.
It's mostly visitors that the wineries are trying to get into the county, or it's their regular members that come all the time because it's free wine and free food. and
Yeah,
food.
there's a lot of heavy
Because
pouring.
I've been to
too,
plenty in the
so,
past.
yeah.
No, they don't want us.
Oh, okay, what about the little farmer's market that they have on Thursdays? Yeah, Thursdays. Is that with Bruce? Yeah, yes, he's invited us to put up the sign.
Yes.
So that's what I'm.
No,
So it's nice to know, the Harvest Fair, if it's the regulars live here, right?
No, it's,
Yeah, but I just think they're a zoo.
Don't do it.
I would
So I
not.
asked for advice, I got the advice thing. Market on Sundays, it's probably only in the summer, but I think it's January. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They give me a little bit of them.
Okay, just- we have a-
Yeah, but farmers market.
we have another public comment from Dave.
Probably not going on.
I just wanted to let everybody know that over at Pioneer Elementary School, the first through fifth graders are now busily working on their Smokey the Bear poster contest posters. We did an assembly over there, with the whole school, this year we had Woodsy Owl because Smokey Bear was, fighting a fire in Idaho, I think it was. So he was not available, but, it's conservation with, Woodsy Owl, but also with Smokey Bear. And we read the story about Smokey Bear and we talk about, fire prevention and safety. And so we're starting with the, first grade and up. So the deadline is November 1st and we got some really great posters, educational posters. Working that angle too.
My daughter is working diligently on this.
Glad to hear that.
It's like,
Not ready. Any more public comment? So, any comments from the council? That we need to reinforce, like I said, again, I'll send out a time sheet reminder to the entire CC list or BCC list
Thank you, with the deadline.
next week,
Yep.
right? Okay, I think that's it. The next meeting for the community will be on November 20th.
and that's also our last meeting for 2024.
Yeah, what's the deadline?
End of next week.
So hold do it. Like that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.